Please welcome Silken Laumann. How are you?
You're very well. Thank you.
I don't want to, there's much that we can talk about, and you're very forthcoming in this book, and I don't want to focus on the obvious. I don't normally focus on the cover of a book, but I just love the fact that, look at the gouge.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool scar.
It's a great scar. Can we get up on that business right there? That is like, the choice
It's big, it's not a scratch.
No, but you make a conscious choice to put that in, right?
Yes.
Most
yeah, because
people
that's part of the story. That's certainly what a lot of people remember was my accident in 1992, and it's sort of an ever-present memory of that summer.
But it's also this idea that scars are a part of this story, not just the ones you can see.
Yeah, I remember reading a lovely quote, no scars, no story, no life. And I think our scars are ultimately what build our character and build our life.
The challenge is, though, for most people, is the acquiring of the scars is what almost kills them.
Yeah, it can.
So when you sit down and write this book, and this book starts out as therapy, like,
yeah,
there's a lot
kind
in
of.
this.
Yeah, there's. So I started journaling when I entered therapy, and you know, I knew that I needed to come to peace with my past, and I needed to come to a place of greater understanding of what motivated me to aim as high as I did, and what was driving me in my life.
It's a choice to go into therapy. What was that about?
Well, I mean, I was raising little kids at the time, and I one day reached a place with my kids. They were like 5 and 7. I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I just felt like there were a lot of things happening in my life that were overwhelming me. And I had this moment with my kids where I felt like I was just going to explode. I felt so much rage, and I left the hotel room. I locked the door, and I thought, oh, you know, I feel like I'm going to explode. And I did a very smart thing. I reached out, and I realized I needed help. I needed to move outside myself and get some help.
So a lot has to lead up to that point, though, doesn't it? Because people get angry and feel rage all the time. Why did this moment of rage concern you?
Well, I think it was déjà vu of all the moments that my mom had raged, all the broken plates and the smashed dishes and the threats. And, you know, suddenly for a moment I thought, I'm going to become my mom. I'm going to repeat a pattern that's probably been generational.
I mean, there's a happy ending for sure in this, because you seem to have found a nice rhythm, right? When it wasn't easy to get there, I'm assuming. What I really wonder about, though, is how strange was the phone call with your mother?
Yeah,
and you say,
that's a good question.
Listen, baby, I got to tell you, this is a bad one.
Yeah. Well, I think first of all, that the story, you know, obviously is about abuse and a lot of mental abuse, but it's also about love and the theme of love and the love in a family. Even with this huge amount of dysfunction, there was a huge amount of love in our family. And my mom was not well, and she was never diagnosed with a mental illness, but certainly her behavior was not and is not normal. So for me, those phone calls to each one of my family members, they were hard. But you know, it's finding the courage to have them and to put I mean, we all live through it. We all know it's there. Nobody's talking about it. And there's been a huge freedom in coming to the place where we are talking about it, even if they're heated conversations sometimes. It's now, you know, now the dialogue is more open than ever before.
Your dad, you're glowing about your father in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah, I think my dad, I mean, you know, everybody was involved. Everybody, you know, we all went through this time in our lives together in different ways. And, you know, when my mom left, he had to kind of be a dad and a mom together. And he's got a huge heart. My mom has a huge heart, too. My mom's capacity to give, to understand, to feel compassion and empathy is limited, where, like, my dad really parented with this really big heart, and I still have a really close relationship with him today.
What we do with athletes is we apply these words to them. You're one of them. You know, I want to play a clip. Beautiful words applied. You take a look at this.
And here comes Silken. Silken will get the bronze medal.
With the Olympic bronze medal she won on that day back in 1992, Laumann had elevated herself to that level of accomplishment reserved for the very few, where the adjectives used to describe are noble ones: heroic, courageous.
Which is amazing. I remember having conversations with some athletes who are struggling in their personal life, in their moments of great triumph. So obviously you've had highs and lows, but in that moment, was it all feeling good at that point?
I mean, I remember crossing that finish line, and I think the first feeling was like relief. Oh my gosh, I made it. You know, I won a bronze medal. The feelings of everything that I'd overcome to get there, those 10 weeks of extreme pain and the highest motivation possible, and this tunnel vision and focus. And there was just like, whoa, I did it. And then the next feeling was, I just felt proud. Wow.
And especially the way Canadians responded to you.
I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea until I got home from Barcelona. I mean, I'd been in this little bubble training for these Olympics. I had been all over the paper, but I wasn't reading the paper. And I walked down the street that first day coming back from Barcelona, and like everybody was stopping their car. A cab driver, you know, stopped the car, got out of the cab, and gave me this big hug. I'm like, what is going on? it was pretty shocking.
So I have a question for you, okay? We have a question for you.
Oh.
Hi, Silken. This is Nadia Comăneci. I have many favorite Olympic moments, but one that stuck with me was Joanie Rochette in 2010 Winter Olympic Games. She had a wonderful performance in a difficult time, 2 days after her mom passed away, and I think that was very inspiring. What is your favorite moment?
Is that Number 10 right there.
Wow. That's a hard question. What's my favorite moment? I mean, Mark Tewksbury winning that gold medal, and that, like, just the look on his face and the sheer, the moment, the sheer joy. I mean, I always love the stories of overcoming, you know, the people who've been injured and come back, but it's too hard to choose just one.
So great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Silken Laumann, everybody. Unsinkable is the name of the book. We'll be right back.